circle. Texan will boot it away. Ulysses Bennett, the fourth, is the deep returner for Ole Miss at the goal line. And we'll see Jackson Dart, Trey Harris, Quinshon Judkins in that cast of playmakers momentarily. And Zirkle boots it deep in the end zone. Jackson Dart was USC, part of a meltdown in 21. This is his second season, Kirk. He still plays with a chip on his shoulder. He comes from a football family because Kiffin brought in a couple of guys to kind of challenge him. Two high-profile transfers, and Dart fought him off, and he's had a tremendous second season here.
Yeah, he has. I love that Lane Kiffin told us he plays quarterback like a linebacker. That gives you an idea, and probably a big influence from his dad, with his dad being a football player. He's going to have to play well tonight, be on point, and he's going to have to be involved in running the football.
And right away, you got to flinch from the offensive line. Before the first play, the crowd and the movement of that Georgia defense plays a role. They do it a lot, and they draw a lot of false starts.
And that was Caleb Warren, the center.
Offense number 54. 5-yard penalty. First down.
Moves the football, so the last thing they can do is have false starts to get behind the sticks.
Shuffled offensive line. Right tackle Micah Pettis hurt himself in practice this week. He is out. Dart launching downfield over the hands of Dayton Wade, who had gained some separation. Could have been an electric play to open things up. Georgia not showing pressure. They only rush three. Dart steps up, flips it short, but a long way to go for Judkins, and he'll come up just short. Lowered the pads, but a half-yard shy of the marker, and it's fourth down.
Jalon Walker missed him coming out of the backfield.
Playing fast.
Yeah, they're going to take a chance here. Their own 35-yard line.
We got Jaden Williams limping up. He's the replacement left tackle, and they get it. Direct snap. Judkins powers for a first down. How about the gamble at your own 35?
Hey, it gives you an idea. There's a little bit of a limp there. It's a few weeks, and now they have to deal with this in this atmosphere of this defense.
Pitch on the edge. Two stiff arms from Judkins, who is having a terrific season. Muscles through Dalen Everett for a first down.
And it can open up different aspects of the pass game with the threat of his legs.
He's run for 7 touchdowns this season. Slow developing play. Dart in the pocket delivers a pass, and he was in the grasp of Smile Munden. Stepping up, and the pass is incomplete.
Yeah, you'll see him here. They only rush 3 and drop 8. Munden's just kind of reading the back. He sees no threat, so he's going to come in there on a green dog blitz and eventually gets to him. But give Dart a lot of credit. There's that strength we talked about at 6'2", 220, just to be able to get out of that and throw it away.
So Judkins out. Ulysses Bentley is the back on this 3rd and 6. Pocket collapses. Dart takes off. And he'll make the first down and more with his legs. Scampers inside the Georgia 40. Jalon Walker had a chance but couldn't corral it. 14-yard gain. Now Dart delivers a sideline route. Wide open is Caden Prieskorn, the tight end, who's come back healthy. Knocked down by Bullard, but it's 1st and goal, Rebels. This is the 11th play of this opening drive. Georgia, not particularly elite as a red zone defense this season. And look at this, in goal-to-go drives, only kept them out once. 10 of 11 times opponents have scored a touchdown in these situations. Judkins is back in the game. He's got the football, makes a cut, and will score standing up. A flag is down, so hold on. Now another flag comes in late.
Holding. Offense number 78. 10-yard penalty. UP first down.
Jeremy James, the guard. So instead of a touchdown, 1st and goal from back of the 15. Judkins makes a cut and scores anyway. Call it back. Take 2 is a touchdown. And the Rebels right down the field, 75 yards. 15-yard touchdown run.
Remember we talked about the offensive line moving around? want you to watch the blocks by the left side of this offensive line. Watch them be able to get this outside stretch play. You talk about getting a hat on a hat here. Good job by the receiver picking up the safety there, Bullard. And there's that tough downhill running by Quinshon Judkins.
Lobo, the former Georgia quarterback in the 90s, back for his second stint as the OC here.
How great is that? Bowers and McConkey together on the same side. Georgia fans haven't seen that all year.
Beck worked that direction. Nobody open. Comes back over the middle. And the catch is made by Thomas, who slips a tackle. Offers a stiff arm and is dragged down at the 11 by Trey Washington.
I just talked about how they play a ton of zone and they go to man-to-man. And this is why they don't play a lot of man-to-man. Heck of a throw by Beck. Good adjustment back and then yards after the catch. I was on the field before the game, talked to Golding and Lane Kiffin. How do you feel, man? What's going on? What do you think? Man, we got a tackle in space. No yards after the catch. And here, early, Thomas makes a big play, and now he's off on the sideline.
And Jarrell Stinson looked a little bit overmatched in coverage. That's a 44-yard gain. Kendall Milton is the back to the left of Beck. Pump fake by Beck. He's looking for the end zone. Fires to McConkey, and it's incomplete. Covered on the edge there by John Saunders Jr., the nickelback.
Well, we had a chance to visit with him. He's a guy that played quarterback most of his high school career. Didn't get recruited very much and knew that he had a tough assignment today. He's in phase, but he doesn't really ever turn to find the football. He's lucky. If he would have pushed a little bit more, you could have seen a flag thrown there in the end zone and put him at the 1 yard line.
Crowd saw the replay and wanted one.
You don't get your head turned around. That's usually a quick indicator for the official.
McConkey set to the right. Beck looks that direction, fires underneath to Milton. Bouncing off people. It'll be first and goal, Dogs. As they quickly try to answer the Rebels' touchdown here.
With Milton.
He's a tackle breaker. A lot of yards after contact. They're both in the backfield now. Milton in front of Edwards. I formation, old school toss sweep. Edwards, that'll make the Georgia faithful smile. And the Dogs quickly do answer a 75-yard drive. How many times has that play been called?
Oh, man. Hey, somewhere Herschel Walker's enjoying this one. Here's Truss, the right tackle that gets out in front. I just love to see the tailback leading the way there. Kendall Milton, good blocking. See the receivers getting involved here. Big tight end helped set the edge. Just no chance to stop that play.
Milton helped his buddy out with a block. Yes, Herschel Walker probably had a couple thousand yards on that play alone. This is what happened. They fall behind, but this offense, they don't panic, of course. They respond quickly and frequently.
Drive.
Guys like Wilson, C.J. Allen, very talented young players, but Kirby says they're fresh, but they're going to have their moments tonight. Dart across the middle, low throw collected by Dayton Wade, former Hilltopper of Western Kentucky. They got two very productive receivers out of the portal, Wade and, of course, Trey Harris from Louisiana Tech.
They've done a great job this year. And again, the first down for Ole Miss ignites their tempo.
Out of the backfield, Bentley knocked down immediately. Chaz Chambliss.
You think about that. Well, what does that mean? It ignites their tempo. Charlie Weiss Jr. says that when we get that opportunity, we get that first down. We want Georgia on their heels.
Bentley makes a cut, knocked down a couple yards short by Tyke Smith.
This offensive line is doing a heck of a job for Lane Kiffin and Charlie Weiss Jr. We were kind of kidding with Charlie Weiss Jr. about, man, your offensive style compared to your dad's offense could not be any more different.
His mind works quickly, doesn't it? You have to call plays in this offense. And bulldozing for a first down is Bentley right through Tyke Smith.
These backs run hard. You're talking about Georgia safeties and linebackers. They know they got to come downhill. Their number one goal tonight is not just affecting Dart. That's maybe the second or third goal. Their number one goal is we know we have to win the line of scrimmage And we don't have Jalen Carter, right? We got to win the line of scrimmage, and we've got to get them in obvious passing situations.
We'll show you the time between snaps. They substituted, so Georgia had a chance to kind of slow things down. Dart, first down, will launch downfield into coverage, underthrown and almost intercepted. Fighting back, trying to make the pick was Kamari Lassiter.
I think Malachi Starks does a good job in recovering. Lassiter, the best cover man, most versatile. That ball's underthrown. He has his eyes on a ball, almost adjusts back. I think he waited 1 or 2 hitches too late to throw that football, but both the Georgia veterans back there doing a good job not giving up the home run shot.
So 2 unsuccessful deep shots so far. The overthrow and that force into coverage. 2nd and 10. Judkins slammed into a lineman. Heavy traffic off the left side and not much there. Nazir Stackhouse got him.
Well, this movement that Glenn Schumann and Kirby Smart believe in this. Watch the movement collectively and then watch how you free a linebacker. So sometimes the defensive linemen, they're not going to make the plays, but they're going to occupy the offensive linemen and free those backers to have a path to get into that backfield.
Is this 4-down territory for Kiffin? They need 9 here on 3rd. Long throw. Catch made short of the marker. We're going to find out right now. Trey Harris came back to get it. It's 4th and 3.
No brainer here. They go for it so many times on 4th down. They're 10 of 25 on a year if you include that first drive. A lot of their 3rd downs just set up 4th down attempts.
Judkins on a direct snap to convert the first 4th down gamble. He's to the left of Dart. Plenty of time, but now running out of it and slings it incomplete. A slow developing play. There's a flag down. Could have in the holding zone. We'll see about that. He was patient back there. Just nobody open.
They may have gotten Judkins picking up a blitz on a hold.
Holding. Offense, number 4. The penalty is declined. Result plays a first down for Georgia. Turnover on down.
You got the 5 offensive linemen. This could not hold up. Judkins to the hold call.
So dog stop will set up the offense at their 40. Here they haven't targeted him yet, but that figures to happen soon.
Oh yeah, you're talking about just a freak of an athlete. You know about his work ethic. He's like a TJ Watt or a JJ Watt kind of guy. Doesn't say a lot, just shows up as humble as you could ever hope for. And I think he has a chance to be one of the elite, I'm talking elite tight ends, not just in college football, but when he goes up to the next level.
I think he steps right in and stars.
Oh, yeah. Doesn't blink.
Again, projected top 5 pick. And off inside, Edwards into the secondary. Rumbles down inside the Rebels 30. The ground game is cranked up, 22 more yards.
Which side?
And Mims brings the bulk. 6'7". They list him at 330. There's no way. He's way north of that. A very large human. And a projected first-round pick is back in the mix tonight. But the Dogs getting healthy. Beck off the play fake. Right down the seam. Caught for a touchdown by McConkey. Beautiful throw. They're not taking long to score tonight.
No.
60 yards in 1:22. Running to set up the pass.
They would be on a mission today with all the stuff going on around that program, and they showed up.
Judkins again around left end. Yeah, they are a great perimeter run team, Kirk. That plays into a weakness of this Georgia defense on the edge for some reason.
Yeah, we saw Auburn run the outside zone play. We saw Missouri last week run the outside zone, and it's smart. You're not going to run the football in between the tackles against Georgia. If you're going to run anywhere, you better get to the edge of this defense.
Giving up almost 6 yards of carry by opponents when they run outside of the tackles. Everybody's taking note. Dart right down the middle, and the catch is made by Jordan Watkins, and the Rebels are threatening again.
And they're attacking those young linebackers. Allen was in coverage, but talking about Watkins, who is so dependable, got right behind the young freshman, and a great throw by Dart.
Judkins Cuts it back. That's two 33-yard pass plays already by Ole Miss.
Because you create one-on-one chances for Dart with three really good receivers and a tight end that can win those one-on-one matchups. Georgia's Achilles heel or question is the secondary, especially the corners.
Dart keeps it, pitches to the sideline, fighting back, trying to get near the ball is Dayton Wade, and he draws a flag. Julian Humphrey, one of the corners, it's a question mark tonight. The Rebels think they can attack a couple of these Bulldogs corners.
Yes, they're going to go after 6 and 12 when they get them one-on-one, and they think Watkins and Harris and Wade can win. He's beaten there.
Defense number 12. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot includes an automatic first down.
Yeah, they grabbed the arm and he turned Wade, and that's going to draw the flag most of the time. Not every time, but most of the time.
Really smart by Lane Kiffin to find matchups that he feels like he can win. Going after the young linebackers here, going after the corners. They know that they can attack 6 and 12. They both have bright futures, but they're young players. They're Jamon Dumas-Johnson, the leader that they're missing tonight in the middle of that defense.
Judkins bounces it again. This time the Dogs' pursuit is excellent, and Bullard, the safety, flies up to grab him behind the line.
That's a good job of getting off blocks. Watch the left side. Look at the pursuit. Look at this defense fly. Tyke Smith. See Humphrey there, and then Bullard ends up cleaning it up.
Top receiver singled off to the right.
See Georgia react. That's the thing. Communication. Good job by Starks. Getting everybody on the same page.
Keeper, Dart, following his blocks, runs down inside the 5. This is what he does. Very strategic and effective running. And
when they motioned out, they shifted out, and he saw Georgia react, Lane Kiffin says, okay, we got the numbers right. Let's run the quarterback counter.
And in 1st and goal, they'll play with tempo. Clogged middle. Doug can stop at the line. Interesting to watch Dart because he knows when to pick his spots. He's scrambled for a whole bunch of first downs this year.
Yeah. I mean,
out of the red zone, he's good.
Yeah, and watch this. You just follow the left guard and the left tackle. You got the numbers. You get behind those big guys. Then at 6'2", 220, he's going to run. He's going to run like a running back. Remember, plays quarterback like a linebacker.
Well, the Rebels on the move. They'll be on the doorstep as we begin the second quarter here in Athens. 14-7 Georgia. Back after these messages. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime. Talented freshman filling in tonight.
Yeah, that patience. He's allowing the left side, the pullers on that counter to get around. Quincy McGee and the big tight end, Prieskorn, who's great to see him back after he had to go off the field. He's such a threat at tight end. Going to bring the big former tight end at Auburn and now DN here, J.J. Pegues into this lineup.
Big 315-pounder. Georgia shuffling around, trying to get lined up here. Judkins is the back. They got a big fella split out left. Judkins takes it, makes a cut, flag down. He scores standing up. The flag is in the end zone.
I think Georgia with all that confusion, may have had 12 men on the field.
Illegal substitution. Defense. 12 players on the field. The penalty is declined. Result of play is a touchdown.
Chris, I got to go back. I'm not blaming it all on Jamon Dumas-Johnson, but there's the frustration right there. He's trying to get these young players, that's Damian Wilson, to understand when you're on and when you're off. And Ole Miss just doing a funky formation. The big man Eli Acker lined up as a receiver.
I don't know if he was a threat in the perimeter, but they got discombobulated.
Yeah, it affected communication.
Honored. That's the Burlsworth Trophy. It goes to the top player who was a walk-on to begin the career. He won it twice. Brief visit with him on the field beforehand. Said we're pulling for him.
I mean, one of the most decorated players, not just in Georgia football, but those back-to-back national championships. Him right there at the helm, doing so many things and proving so many people wrong, including a lot of his own fans.
Carson Beck, great job this year stepping in to Stetson's big shoes. Hands off to Milton. Georgia backs can run hard too. They got a bunch of guys on both sides who make it hard to get him to the ground.
That he has. It's not just Bowers. It's not just McConkey. This guy spreads it around to everybody.
Bowers comes in tight, and there is his first touch. Slips a tackle, and Brock Bowers, welcome back to college football, picks up about 7 on that first down play.
Well, there you go. You wanted to know how the ankle would hold up. Crowd reacts. Little hide route, get him the ball in space, and this is what we wanted to see. Little jump cut, that's who he is. This is beautiful.
He's the leading receiver on this team, even though he's missed the last 2 games. His 42nd catch. Off the play fake, back, launching downfield to McConkey, who comes back and grabs it. McConkey jitterbugs down to the 2-yard line. Underthrown, but McConkey found a way into space.
Deontre Prince, no man's land, little stutter and go. Oh my gosh, is he beaten? He's very fortunate. That ball came out just a little bit late. Great adjustment back, man. This kid's like a backyard football player. That's in Bennett. Now you see it with Beck.
Edwards. And Georgia muscles in to reclaim the lead. 2 for Judkins for Ole Miss. 2 now for Edwards and the Dog.
To get that play called in. Even Lane Kiffin has told me when it comes to Jeff Levy and Kendall Briles and watching Charlie Weiss, it's almost like he's like, people think I'm a savant. These guys that do this quick huddle stuff, they're the savant, the up-tempo offenses.
There's that Georgia stem before the snap. Ole Miss doesn't get the penalty, but they get home on the sack. The ball comes out, knocked loose. C.J. Allen and Tramel Walther got him.
Well, Stackhouse wins with his hands. Great job in the middle. He had the big interception to seal the win last week against Missouri. He's a monster, 320 pounds. That ball did come out.
Jeremy James jumped on it to avoid the turnover. Not on schedule now, Kirk, 2nd and 20.
Oh. Man coverage took away every receiver and allowed the big man Stackhouse to get home.
First sack for either side tonight. And the crowd has come to life. Dart took a peek downfield and then just gets swallowed up by Walther at the line of scrimmage. This is the Georgia defense in this series these fans are used to seeing now.
And the offensive line losing that battle, and I think it's just a quickness up front, especially on that last play by Walthour.
Terry and Ingram Dawkins in there. You got the pass rushers in on 3rd and 20. And they'll just hand it off. That's kind of a, you got us this series. Judkins grabbed by Damon Wilson. A 3-and-out for the Rebels. Backwards 3-and-out.
That's what Kirby Smart, Glenn Schumann, when we talked about, they go to the sideline, they try to make adjustments. Well, that adjustment is just, we're going to be better than you at the line of scrimmage on this series. 3 straight plays, the D-line dominates.
Frazier is in the punter. It's a low boot. And a flag is down. They hit him after the punt. Muse made the fair catch, and we'll check the contact.
There's no foul for running into the kicker. The kicker was outside the tackle box. First down, Georgia.
Well, he's an Aussie, and if you roll out and get out of the traditional punter's position, they can knock you down. They did. It takes a day off.
No,
Harris.
Are you kidding me?
No. Hoops tomorrow.
UConn number 2 on the road early.
So Georgia trying to make it a 4th straight drive to the end zone. And Beck across the middle, and there's Bowers. He was pretty well covered, but he found some space and moves it inside the Rebels 45.
He's showing pressure there. That's why he's hesitant.
Play clock at 2. Beck coolly checks it down and finds Edwards, who spins into first down territory there. Looked like he was going to go out of bounds, but spun in front of Deontre Prince.
Defense gets back out there.
And it's tough when you're not good in the situational things like red zone and 3rd down. Milton runs through a tackle, shows his power, his 1st and goal. He's battled injuries all year. He saw his dad hanging out with Carson Beck's dad last night. They're good buddies.
Yeah, throw him in. His dad.
His dad's locked up.
His dad is a big guy.
His son's got the football. He didn't care. Barreling through Rebels. Touchdown, Georgia. A flex by the red and black. And they stretch the lead.
points all year in the third quarter, so you don't want this game to get away from you. Almost okay working clock.
Yeah, no urgency for Kiffin. And now Dart will throw downfield. Launched and intercepted. Javon Bullard tracking the ball from his safety position with the first takeaway tonight.
Well, I think he had Dalen Everett beat. His place is coming unglued. He gave a little shoulder to get 6 to bite, but he underestimated the quickness and the range of Bullard, who's covering over the top to take care of 6. Tries to squeeze it in there. Look at Glenn Schumann in the background. He gets airborne himself. Just talked about be careful into the first half. You're better off trying to almost just work the clock. Georgia gets the ball to start the second half. Now they're thinking 6 more points.
Second pick for Bullard. You saw Schumann, Will Muschamp, glasses flying off his head. You know Kirby was jumping around there, and he's got the shoulder pad. Savage.
But Bullard's known as a thumper, but uses his eyes and shows his range and instincts to come up with that pick.
Some seconds ran off there.
Well, no.
You get the timeout.
No. Fox is
I
still.
thought he said, I read his lips and he said timeout. They don't spend one. I don't know why. Down inside of 20 seconds. Catch made. And Lovett gets down. That's inside the 30. Down to just 12 seconds. I'm confused by the clock management there, frankly.
Yeah, this is an example, though, of how they spread you around and find ways to get others involved. Lovett, the transfer from Missouri, is known for kind of like McConkey on the other side. Works the middle of the field and so quick after back-to-back plays, so quick after the catch. Well, you go 4 verts, and see how the defense reacts. And they love the creases. They love to hit the seams.
McConkey and Bowers are to the left. Beck is looking instead to the right, fires right down the seam, and it's incomplete. And intercepted it.
Yeah, ball got
the
tipped.
Hands of Dejon Anthony. A takeaway.
Yep. Ball's thrown late. Tries to squeeze it in, and it hits the hands of Lovett and then goes right into the air. They're fortunate to come up with that interception. You had Saunders in coverage, but the ball hits the hands of the receiver, Lovett. He had him beat at about 15 yards downfield, but he waited. Made it much tougher of a throw, so they miss an opportunity there.
So the takeaway by the Rebels keep this lead at 14 in the break. Saunders in coverage there. I said, you have a very famous gentleman who was my mentor, our great friend John. I used to tell people he was my grandfather.
Exactly.
He is not, but I enjoy the story. So it could have been even worse. The dogs were barking there and moving, and they get a little lackadaisical with the clock management, and the takeaway by Anthony keeps the lead at 14. But what a display by the Georgia offense.
And a word he kept saying was resiliency, in-game adjustments. That's their strength as a defense. The thing that he and Glenn Schumann are most proud of. And we saw that from the first quarter to the second quarter tonight.
Kiffin's defense will be on the field, having to get a stop to begin the second half. Georgia up by 2 scores. Let's get on ESPN. Part of Veterans Week on ESPN, presented by USAA. The SEC East champion Georgia Bulldogs overwhelming offensive display. Chris Kirkendall back with you, averaging 10 yards a play. Now Pete Golding and the Rebels defense, he knows what they're up against. He was a coordinator at Alabama for all those heavyweight matchups. What can he do, Kirk, beginning right now when Georgia goes on offense?
If he could pull a couple of the red jerseys over here in the second half on that defensive line, that would help. But I think the big thing is he came in trying to be a bend but don't break defense tonight. He's going to have to get more aggressive, which is it's either going to work out or you could potentially give up some big plays. Beck, 13 of 15, 214 yards, so very balanced approach.
Did have the 1 pick at the end of the half off the carom there. His first turnover in the last 3 games. Beck on the move and almost threw another pick. Boy, tried to get the ball to Ra Thomas. DeAndre Prince came back and had his hands on the ball.
Well, now you're sitting there at 3rd and 5.
Munkenkolm plays for the high-powered Ravens offense. 3 receivers bunch to the right. He throws back to the left. It's a fastball off the hand of Bell. And it's a quick stop for this Rebels defense. It's an important step, trying to get back into it.
Yeah. Remember, we said in the open, if they're going to compete, number 4 is going to have a night.
Dart dodges pressure and is out dragged down. C.J. Allen, the hyped freshman, makes a play.
They put the center in a tough spot because a blitz here, a late blitz here, and watch this. He starts to his left, and then he skims back to his right, and both the linebackers end up coming in to sack the quarterback.
You see why they're so excited about that freshman Allen. Dart incomplete, trying to find Jordan Watkins, covered by Takey Smith, and it's a quick 3-and-out for the Ole Miss offense.
Well, it was all about the offenses in the first half, and here a couple of 3-and-outs. Ole Miss, when they finally get a stop, man, their all offense has got to capitalize and unable to do so.
That felt really important right there. And now it's a fake. Zen takes off, and he just rolls. Nobody paid attention to the punter. A flag is out, a couple of them very late. That looked like it was a scuffle along the sidelines. Kiffin can't believe it, but Georgia just peeled back and forgot about Zen.
Just nobody on the edge. You know, maybe Lane Kiffin, who got so excited, I don't know if he ran into an official. I mean, he's over there jumping up and down because he sees it's going to work.
He was maybe it's just, though.
Yeah, he got it. He's going to. Maybe it's just going to be a warning.
The result of the play is a first down for Ole Miss. After the play, personal foul, unnecessary roughness, kicking team number 9. The 15-yard penalty to be enforced. It'll be 1st and 10 for Ole Miss after enforcement.
So the fake is successful, but it does back them up at 15 yards of field position.
So this offensive line and Jackson Dart being tested in front of this crowd.
Patchwork offensive line. 2nd and 8 handoff. I don't know. There's just nothing there. Walther back-to-back plays, just swarming Judkins. Sets up a 3rd and long.
That defensive line, they're just eating up those offensive linemen. There are very few people over the last 3 or 4 years that can run the football between the tackles against Kirby Smart in this Georgia defense.
I know Jalen Carter's not there. They don't have maybe the superstar first rounders, but they got a lot of solid dudes.
Size, and they can eat the blocks.
They rush 4, Dart retreats, and now lofts it downfield, and it's off the outstretched hands of Jordan Watkins. Bullard in coverage, and it's 4th down again.
So many good instincts, reliable.
Hunter Renfro's had a good career at that position in the league, but McConkey is a little twitchier, a little more speed.
Yeah.
Back off the play fake, right down the middle. Rosemy-Jack Saint makes the catch and is slung down at the Ole Miss 41 by Anthony, but Dogs on the move again, 32 more. Beck gets the rhythm back after 3 straight incompletions, looking to throw again on 1st down, dodges the pressure in the pocket and takes off. Pretty good acceleration. He runs right near the 1st down marker. It is a 1st down at the 32.
Now these linebackers, that's the biggest concern, I think, for this Ole Miss defense is what do we have at our 2nd level? Look how they're afraid of the deep crossers. Look how far back they are. Backs turned, and good recognition by Carson Beck, who again has that athletic ability to take off.
Correction, I thought they were waving the change crew down. Instead, it's about a foot short. And they'll pick it up here, and look out, Milton bolting, gone. Kendall Milton has a pair of touchdowns. So does Dejan Edwards, and the Dogs beginning to stretch the lead now big time.
What makes it amazing is this defense. They've lost 19 defensive players over the last 3 years to the NFL, 8 in a 1st round, and here they are again.
Short gain for Judkins.
You know, Chris, you don't have Jalen Carter, Trayvon Walker, Devontae Wyatt, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith, Quay Walker. I mean, they've lost so many. It's big fella, Jordan Davis, but they don't have necessarily the marquee names and the game records. But, man, the scheme, size, athleticism is still there.
Certainly got guys like Kamari Lassiter who play at the next level. Dumas Johnson,
You got
who's out, of course.
young players that are eventually going to be that next wave of superstars, but this is a team defense.
End around to Watkins on 3rd and 3. Not going to get there. Wrestled down by C.J. Allen. The freshman's been strong tonight. Filling in for Dumas Johnson.
And here's going to be a future superstar who right now is learning on the fly. He takes on this would-be block and just goes right through Bentley and makes that play.
Kiffin's putting the ball game right here. 4th down and 2 at his own 33. Down by 3 scores. Funky formation, Dart under center. And they pitch it on the edge to Bentley. There's a flag down. Bentley turns the corner, but that thing never got started. Now we'll see if he decides to punt after the penalty.
Yeah, he's going to have to. Got a hold on the right side there.
Illegal snap.
Oh,
Offense
thought we had a hold.
5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
He came up quickly in that weird formation. Yep, the false snap,
A little move, and then at the top, 79 trying to help with the edge right there. He actually grabs on, so they don't worry about that hold with that procedure call, but they move him back.
It's Reese McIntyre, who's a backup center again, shuffling things around. Didn't have Pettis tonight. They got Jaden Williams go out with an early injury, so health a serious concern up front, and it's the wrong team to face when that's your reality. Big roll on the punt down to the 23, 49 yards. Holly.
You guys saw it on that last series. C.J. Allen, the backup linebacker, number 33, true freshman, has been so impressive tonight. Glenn Schumann told me that before the game, he was going to have a talk with C.J. and his other backup, Raylan Wilson, and say, listen, even Roquan Swift and Nakobe Dean, the guys who are so good here, never graded out perfect, not once. You don't have to be perfect tonight. You just have to do your job and really lock in and focus. I love that message to these young guys because they haven't been perfect, but they have been solid. I think we're seeing a star born tonight in C.J. Allen.
Yeah, I'm with you, Holly. Remember, he was in for the spring, and just so, they say, so mature. And I think we've seen that. He leads them in tackles tonight. How's that for stepping in?
Back to the ground game. Milton, his first multi-rushing touchdown game of his career. It's 20 minutes. Beck has all kinds of time. Flips it down short. And it's Oscar Delp. Did a really good job filling in for the 2 games when Bowers was out. He's a pretty good athlete himself. Sophomore from Cumming, Georgia. Holly?
Well, guys, Ladd McConkey's just gone into the injury tent for the Georgia Bulldogs, and this is a bad thing because it's been so exciting to see he and Brock Bowers on the field at the same time. I saw him get up slow after the first play of this drive. It looks like a lower leg injury. There was blood dripping down his left calf. Didn't look too serious, but I'll keep you posted.
Blood dripping down his left calf. Thank you for painting that vivid picture, Holly. A back injury was the issue that cost McConkey early in the season. And now, Lovett running free. Dominic Lovett hurtling down inside the Rebels 25.
Well, that's where they attack. McConkey's down, so Lovett has to step up in between those hash marks. It's where Carson Beck picks up a lot of his yards on those seam routes. Open, the middle of that field is wide open. He sees it. And, man, he throws that ball so well.
You got a flag at the end,
43-yard
gain. He was shoved.
Late hit, defense, number 3.
It's a frustration penalty from Dejon Anthony.
Automatic first down.
Your friend from Liberty.
For the last couple years and what he can do, even though he's had to sit behind Stetson Bennett. And they were right. I mean, we've seen it all year. I just love that he waited his turn. A lot of these guys had to wait their turn. They play with kind of a chip on their shoulder, even though they're back-to-back defending champs. He said, I didn't win that.
Yeah.
I didn't win that. He's motivated. This team's motivated.
3rd and 7. I throw the back shoulder of Thomas. It's incomplete. Jamari Walton in coverage. There is no flag, and it's 4th down.
Pretty tight coverage. I think he knows Walton's expecting that back shoulder. You see Walton starting to kind of work back to the threat of the back shoulder. Bill, what do you think of that one?
a flag for pass interference would have been
the right call.
definitely supported.
It was a little jersey grab. I think that folks here agree. So on comes Woodring. He's been kicking extra points tonight for his first field goal attempt from 27. And they'll go into the stretch run and perhaps deep into the postseason feeling really good about their kicking game. The freshman's done a nice job. The lead 24 now in Athens. Do those total yards since the first quarter, 36. That's it after 180 in the opening quarter for the Rebels offense. Dart sprints out, gets the corner, doesn't go out of bounds, gets sandwiched, knocked down hard. You could hear the pads pop. It was Everett and Loeb who got him in a sandwich.
Loeb chasing that play from behind, 310 pounds. I think the combination of the two that you referenced, Chris, anytime even though he's a big, strong quarterback, you'd love to see him always get down.
You said linebacker mentality. He does weigh 220 pounds. Had a chance, though, just to step out of bounds.
Yeah, I think Loeb's helmet and his helmet hit right there, 96. He's a 310-pound right there. Just all of his momentum goes right into Jackson Dart.
It did not look good as he hits the turf right there. Had a chance to step out, and that would have been the prudent decision. Spencer Sanders, the former Oklahoma State Cowboy, is the backup. He's had limited duty, has played in 6 games, but he's a guy who has 41 starts in his career, won 30 games in Stillwater for Mike Gundy's team. Dart is still very, very slow to finally sitting up. That's good to see.
Yeah.
It would be hard to see him returning to the game, but he is a tough guy.
Really is. Yeah.
I know they cross-train, but it's a tough thing on the road against this group. Sanders, an inaccurate throw, kind of a low pitch to Trey Harris. Lassiter in coverage, tough guy to beat, and his 4th down.
Tough guy to beat and a tough thing to do when you're sitting around for 2.5 quarters cold and you come in and you got to make a throw on 3rd down in about 7 or 8 against Lassiter.
7. Beck escapes, has plenty of space. 1st down and a lot more. He slides down at about the 40 after a 14-yard gain.
So you're going to show blitz and then you're going to drop. But Carson Beck sees this and look at that middle open up. Nobody there. Soon teams are going to start to appreciate and respect 15 when he drops back to throw. You got to worry about that big arm. But this kid can run the football and he has good recognition because of the field vision. And he's going to take that on 3rd down all day long.
6'4", long strides. He just gobbles up yardage quickly once he decides to take off.
A lot bigger than I think he looks on TV. We visited with him yesterday.
Look out, Milton. Front race. Can they track him down? They finally do. But Kendall Milton way over 100 yards on a huge night. These dog running backs, 51 yards more.
Watch these combination blocks by the offensive line. Really good job in the interior. Van Brand is able to help out. Van Brand is a leader of that front. They work so well together. This offensive line, I know the backs are getting all the yards, but if I'm Kirby Smart, I'm giving Stacy Searles and this offensive line the game ball. These guys have dominated the point of attack.
So many yards before contact. Milton and Edwards will be the first ones to tell you, hey, give all the credit to the big fellas up front. Edwards is now in the game. He's got a couple touchdowns as well. Tackled at the 7.
And it's not just that they're big. I know they recruit great players. What's unique about the offensive line here is how they're in rhythm. They're in sync. They have continuity, and they're healthy.
Heavyweights in the sport starting to flex. You saw Michigan earlier, Bama this afternoon, Georgia tonight. Headed to the fourth quarter. You're watching ESPN College Football Primetime from Athens. Dogs knocking on the door again to build on this lead. 2nd and 7 from the Ole Miss 8. Milton, they fake it to him. Beck keeps it. Didn't have much space and just slides down at the line of scrimmage.
Good decision just to avoid any contact that he doesn't need. Play for this next down. Keep looking out there and thinking. I remember in the pregame, the conversation with Holly, with Kirby about, well, we're going to see how 19 feels tonight. We're going to kind of ease him back and see how many plays we think he can get in. I don't think he's been off the field tonight. I don't think he's missed a snap.
He's not a normal human being.
No, I think he's Iron Man.
Bunch to the left here, Bowers is. 3 receivers. Now motions back into the slot. On 3rd down, Beck looks down the middle. There's Brock Bowers. Touchdown, Dogs. He is Iron Man, as you call him.
There's Iron Man right on cue. I love that Beck saw what he wanted to see. It just the protection up front. Gets that set. Then he tells Bowers, hey Bowers, we got the matchup we want. Come on down. I got everything taken care of. We're going to do a little pump, little stutter and go, little pump, and then nice throw. Perfect timing. And finally, 19 gets into the end zone after that layoff. Great on the road and take care of Penn State despite all those distractions. Looked like the team that we kind of thought they were, and against better competition. Ohio State's up big 38-3 right now. Georgia obviously impressive. Getting tougher and tougher to rank these teams late in the year.
Bentley gets a first down. Let me ask you about that. Ohio State had the better resume. That was the justification for making them number 1. Now that Michigan has gone on the road and destroyed Penn State, Bama's stepped up, but Georgia undefeated, certainly handled a top 10 team here tonight pretty easily. Would there be a reconsideration, you think, this week at the top?
You can never tell what the committee looks like. I've never had Ohio State up at the top team, in my opinion. I know the resume is important, but for me, I've looked at Georgia and Michigan as 1A, 1B all year long, and I think that just continues at this point to be the case, in my opinion. I'd put Ohio State at 3 or 4. Don't forget about Washington out west. And they keep playing great competition, too, and they keep winning football games.
Absolutely. We'll see the Huskies next Saturday night at Oregon State. High snap. Spencer Sanders again is in for Jackson Dart. Knocked out of the game. Tyke Smith brings him down.
And the only reason you put Alabama down is, this is a team early in the year. You and I were in Tuscaloosa when they lost to Texas. Next week at USF, they're struggling. They're trying to find a quarterback, and now look at it. Jalen Milroe's one of the great stories of the year. Their defense has grown up. Cannot wait for Atlanta to see Bama and Georgia go head-to-head.
Sanders, 3rd and 10, escapes. Long way to go. Now slings it short. Prescore's got the football. Came close to crossing the line of scrimmage, but it's a legal catch for a first down.
And that's Spencer Sanders. The resiliency that they played with early in this game, it looked like we had a shootout. I mean, remember that? Ole Miss scores, Georgia scores, Ole Miss scores. It was like, wow, this Georgia defense, without Jamon Dumas-Johnson's going to be in trouble. They settled down, made the adjustments, and they've been a different defense the rest of the game.
Play fake. Sanders launches far sidelines. A battle for the football. Did he come down with that? Wow! Dayton Wade went up and grabbed a one-handed catch over Everett.
How in the world did he catch as he throws his right hand up there? Oh my gosh, what a catch.
I mean, on the absolute stretch, kind of cups the football and brings it into his chest.
He floated in the air forever. Go back to him again.
Guys around college football just do some amazing stuff with these one-handed catches these days.
Dude, this is catch of the year, maybe. I mean, and then he secures it on the landing. Great job there, 1-9.
Sanders running all the way, spins back out of one tackle and then gets met by C.J. Allen and Raylan Wilson. Both freshman linebackers in there right now.
Yeah, Raylan Wilson and C.J. Allen, get used to those names. That will be the middle of this defense once Smael Mondon moves on.
3rd and 4. Sanders and the Rebels try to make this look more respectable here early 4th quarter. Another high snap. He tried to hand the ball off to Wade in a sweep, but the snap prevented it, and he just has to eat it.
Remember the backup center, Reese McIntyre, has been in there for much of the second half with Caleb Warren moving over to guard because they've had some injuries. And that football sails again up high. Sanders is athletic about it, but it disrupts the timing. Play's over. He wanted to hand that to Wade on the jet sweep, couldn't get it to him.
So Caden Davis comes in for a field goal attempt to cut the lead to 28. And he does it. Interesting. On 4th and 5, they take the 3.
Man, I didn't know.
Crazy.
I didn't know if he would play after the hit that he took last week.
Goodness.
And it's great to see him back. And you can make a case that that guy's playing as well as anybody in the country.
200 rushing yards. Look out! Roderick Robinson has joined the party. Number 0, freshman running back, shows his burst. 4th and 1, offense on the field. And they got him to flinch. And that free play to the end zone, they tried to Jackson Meeks there, but the Rebels jumped offside.
Offside, defense number 51. The penalties after this is the goal results in a first down.
That's Vandegrift with that hard count with the clap. Pulls them over, gets the free play, misses that, but does get the first down.
Ole Miss will drop to 8-2. Still a really terrific season they put together here. You play at Tuscaloosa and at Athens, same season. That's rugged. That would be their 2 losses. They win at Auburn. You get the virtual bye, ULM next, and then the Egg Bowl Black Friday on the road in Starkville, but an excellent chance to get back to 10 wins.
And the big difference tonight, Lane Kiffin will see it when he studies the film, is just the first quarter line of scrimmage was in their favor offensively, and the last 3 quarters they just were dominated in the trenches.
Vandegrift tried to get him to jump offside again. They wouldn't bite this time. 1st and goal, pitch to the edge. Paul cuts back and scores. Andrew Paul is in the scoring column. Redshirt freshman, his first touchdown. And Georgia going over 600 yards of total offense with that score.
And Chad Lindbergh, the tackle, Spurlin, the 3rd outside. Had a lot of success on that outside play, relying on that back to stretch it and then find the alley and accelerate through it.
So point to a 3-peat here in Athens. It's good stuff here in the Georgia offensive line. Highlights Stacey Searles. Maybe he had punched a hole in anger
Out of
earlier.
frustration early, maybe. Micah Morris telling him, "Come on, coach, you still upset? Here's the board." Just having some fun. That offensive line's got some personality.
Micah Morris, by the way, wearing 77. That's a rotating number to honor their fallen teammate. Devin Willock wore number 77. Tragically killed in an automobile accident after the celebratory moment here at Sanford Stadium last January. And they rotate that around, and Morris wearing it tonight. And a lot to be proud of in this offensive line group.
Yeah,
quick word from Verbo now. The ice bath, if available on the Ole Miss side. I love that.
I don't love it, but I try to do it. It's hard.
Hudson Wolf down the middle makes the catch. It's therapeutic, my friend. I'll work with you at the breathing technique.
Yeah, you're going to have to coach me up on that. I go all the way to the neck. Arms in is a different level.
You got to go head. You got to get your head underwater. You're at the end of it. Yeah, that's what you do. Spencer Sanders, a nice looking run. Holly, you love offensive line as much as anybody on the planet. It's a party down there on the Georgia sideline at this point.
They're having a blast, and I actually went over there and said, "Hey, who broke that whiteboard?" And they said, "We did." Every offensive line started yelling, we did that together. I can tell you this, they spent an entire period at practice on Thursday doing hand drills. It looked like UFC meets wax on, wax off. Stacey Searles does the best job with this offensive line. They're deep, they roll a lot of guys, but they are engaged, and I love it. They've destroyed this whiteboard down here, and that's not easy to do, guys.
That was a fun drill to watch. You talk about violent hands, heavy hands.
Oh, yeah. We've seen
strike power, all those things the linemen like to talk about.
The offensive line, we've said it a few times now, they're a fun group. There's the board, what's left of the board. But again,
they did that to the Ole Miss defense, too. They just punched a bunch of holes in them tonight.
If I'm Kirby in that locker room, you're giving away a game ball, you're going to honor and recognize somebody, it's that offensive line. And again, the backs are healthy, Bowers and McConkey are healthy. But having Mims back helps solidify this group. 292 yards rushing tonight. And when you can run the football in this offense for Mike Bobo, and you put Beck in these receivers in favorable matchups, he didn't get touched tonight.
And again, interesting to see, excuse me, Kirk, because as great as this is, as comprehensive as this performance was against a top 10 team, having won the division already, Tennessee coming off a loss. As Sanders launches down to the end zone, a battle there. No flag thrown, trying to get it to Braylon Brown. You still got to go to Knoxville.
Yeah.
You don't need it to get to Atlanta, but you need it to stay perfect, and that's all Kirby cares about.
And they're going to hear all week that Tennessee's terrible and they should kill them, and Kirby's going to be fighting against that. Obviously, he does it every week. Make sure that his team is focused, and Tennessee still has talent. It's a different Tennessee team. They're a team that has to play defense and run the football. I don't know how well that'll work against this Georgia team now that they're healthy.
Some players down the depth chart getting some action now. That's Matt Jones on a carry. Besides opening holes for the running backs, protecting back well, Georgia didn't have a single play tonight for negative yards. So they didn't let the Rebels get across the line of scrimmage to make a single play. That's impressive. That's almost unheard of.
And especially when that's been their strength. Ole Miss's defense, tackles for loss and sacks is how they've played well, and that's been their strength of their entire season.
Sanders retreating, and now just heaving the ball into the ground. It's really almost unheard of. You check the stats in games, almost unheard of. Not have a single negative play on offense.
There's Jackson Dart. We haven't seen him since he headed to the locker room after that big hit. Says it all on his face.
Don't know if it's something more serious. We haven't gotten any reports whether or not there was a problem with the collarbone. He left it all out there. He battled tonight.
In their first two series, they scored touchdowns. And, the first two of their first three, they scored touchdowns. They're running the football at will.
Rain picking up here.
What do you think Carson?
The Dogs had to finish this off.
Where's Carson Beck stack up there with quarterbacks in the country right now? I mean, you got a lot of good players this year, but you're talking about a guy that's the head man of this offense that's competing for a SEC championship and possibly a national championship. I don't know on a national level if he gets the recognition and hype that he deserves.
I think you're right. I mean, he's not going to win a statistical comparison to a lot of guys, including Jaden Daniels in his conference. You'd figure Daniels is going to be the all-SEC quarterback, but Beck doesn't care about that. He says the stat, I think, is underrated for quarterbacks.
Wins.
W's.
Yeah, wins. I was impressed with how he walked into the room yesterday. You and I have never had a chance to sit down with him in a production meeting. He hasn't done a lot of them until this year, and he just came in. There's just kind of an aura about this guy has, after waiting all that time behind Stetson Bennett, this guy's incredibly driven and motivated to be the guy for this team and will do whatever they ask him to do. It's not just about throwing for a bunch of yards.
So Bowers comes back, looks great. Beck efficient, but the big fellas up front plowing right through the Rebels defense. Georgia puts 100 on Ole Miss and will steamroll into Knoxville, looking very much the heavyweight out of the East to collide with Alabama in a few weeks in Atlanta. The win streak reaches 27, third longest in modern history. Down to Holly.